I know for everybody, this is the time where people often end with the planner they did not begin with. And hello, that is me. So I wanted to talk about my 2023 planner. This is a Pocket Moleskine planner. I absolutely love this planner. It is going to be a really great archive planner. She has held up very nicely, and we are actually going to go through this planner and you're going to get to see what she actually looks like on the inside. Let's go ahead and start with the beginning of the pages. As you all know, I love decorating my pages. I love decorating the beginning of the book. I have this Peanuts Planner Co. kind of monthly planning routine that I typed up a while ago, saved it on my computer, and still use it to this day. I also have this beautiful kind of page set up, and I decided to decorate that, and I really love that. This paper was from Barnes and Nobles, and I love looking at this page every time I open it. So this is an Ollie clip. It's just holding all my calendars. All my calendars have like dates specific to kids' appointments and my parents' appointment with specific doctors. So I just kind of like put those together. Ideas and goals. As you can see, I really didn't fill anything out because this is a planner just for my life, my family, and that's what it is going to be. My inspiring journeys. Okay. More kind of like little, sticky notes here, more decorations. And then December, I didn't do anything, but here we go. So I have this specific style that I decided to start with at the beginning of the year. This was definitely copied from my Hobonichi Weeks. I started off with 2 Hobonichi Weeks and I ended up not sticking with them because they became just too overwhelming and I wanted something to go in my purse and be accessible for me to carry, especially because I go back and forth a lot with my parents and with my son. So I wanted to go ahead and do something where I am able to kind of list what I had to do, wanted to track my habits, and I wanted to track my task here. And that's exactly what I did. And as you can see, each week I kept it very minimal, just Tombow markers, some stickers from Sweet Freckle Designs, and then that was it. I didn't really, need to do anything else. This other week was the same thing. So I had like, more tasks to complete. I had more things to do, and I kept it very simplistic with very minimal stickers, very minimal task, and I wanted to make sure that I had this listed out. So definitely something that you can incorporate in your planning style. So I know when it comes to planning, there are different ways people plan. You have to figure out the best way that you can plan for yourself. And you can do whatever you feel is necessary in order to make it more easy for you. So for me, when it comes to end of the year planning, I do less because for me, the end of the year is always very busy. So right now, this is still like a lot, right? I have habits, I have tasks. I'm making sure everything's nice and neat. I'm listing all the tasks that I need to do, movies I watch, things like that. And I wanted to make sure, right? So this is a good one. I wanted to make sure like I had all my tasks for the week here, written here, all the main focus tasks here. I had my habits here, and then I had like any movies or things I watched, any tasks I needed to do. So that was mainly a week in a life, right? And then it consistently followed through. So as you can see, I kept it very simple, very to the point. So if you are wondering how you can go ahead and just plan for the rest of the year, do what you feel is necessary. Like it got to a point that I was tracking habits. I was trying to track sleep. I was trying to write down everything that needed to get written down. I'm going to go over this because that had a lot of notes. And then we have appointments here. So very simple. Like you have to do what works for you. Like I said, I like to really keep my tasks to a minimum. I just want to focus on what I need to get done. My point of planning is not to make it look like my planner is super full with every single detail of my life. My point of this planner is to get what I need to get done during the week. And if you are someone who is a mom, someone who works, someone who is a caregiver like I am, someone who is a wife, someone who is just busy with their life, whether you're married, single, not, have kids or not, everyone's life is very different. And you have to do what basically works for you and your planning style. And we have a simpler week here. So I started noticing, like, towards this time of the year, always, I start kind of writing less and less. I start focusing on what appointments I have to do and what specific task I have to do, because there are tasks like movement, expenses, laundry, clean, email, planner, self-care, personal tasks that I can list here that I could just track because they're all part of my weekly routine. So I don't need to write clean house here, do laundry here, put away clothes here. Like, I could just make a habit tracker that will check that. So here goes another week. I really loved this little sticker here, but I just really loved that. I really loved looking at all this and just kind of seeing what was going on, tracking what was happening during the week, and then just kind of seeing what was happening, right? So there are a lot of things that I saw that I did. I was using stickers. So this is a very, very good week of what was happening, what was going on, and how I was using stickers and what I was doing during this timeline, right? And then I was able to check off my habits, and I was able to use some stickers to kind of look at what was happening. And I really did love this and kind of seeing that progress. Now, if you notice, my handwriting went from being super, super neat, right? So let me go back to like one of the beginning ones, right? So super neat and small to now it's like in the mornings, I have very little time because my parents literally get up now around when I get up. So the only time I have to myself is literally in the shower or in the bathroom or when I go lay down. And even then, I hear noises at night or I hear them and I have to get up. So I don't sleep well. So right now, my writing is getting larger, a little messier. I'm using stickers. I'm still trying to write my task. And this shows like where I'm at in life, right? Right? Slept till 8. For me, that's sleeping in till 8 a.m. Oh my goodness, I'm sleeping in till 8 a.m. And some people are like, no, that's early. So it depends where you are. And as you can see here, I was like, why bother? Why even write my habits? And then here, I just kept it simple. What did I have going on for the weeks? What appointments did I have? Any tasks that I needed to complete? I didn't do that. I didn't even keep track of my mood. Again, what appointments I have to go on this week, what do I need to do, the tasks I needed to write that were personal for family. Then again, what tasks I need to do. Again, I didn't fill out my weekly list. I didn't do any of the things I needed to do. This was another week that there was 3 simple tasks I needed to get done, and I wrote them all here. And then I had to write notes for my mom regarding an appointment. And here I just literally wrote again what needed to get done this week, what was happening. I didn't cry today. This week was really, really hard. And I think there was one day where I probably was like kind of on a low, but didn't cry. So here is the current week. I used an extremely dark Tombow. Obviously, you can't see the days of the week, number one. I had to write them in, and then I just am using stickers. I really kind of wanted to go back to tracking my sleep at least, and then anything I need to do, what I call work is any administrative work for my parents or for my son, or any specific task that I need to quickly look at maybe for work. Other than that, I'm not really too focused on writing everything down. Like I said, if you are at the end of the year, if you are where should I end up writing all my plans in a planner? I need an archive planner. This is what I'm talking about with planner confusion, because when I started in 2023, I started with this. And then what ended up happening was, and this is one of them that I started because I was like, oh, I want to go back to kind of, and I'm not really going slow on purpose for obvious reasons, but I was like, oh, I want to keep it very simple. I want to make it neat. It was going so well I'm not using this anymore the way I was using it before, and I wanted to know what was not functioning. So which is why when I decided to go with this, I decided to go with the moleskin because it was definitely more portable. I could carry it with me in my bag. I could carry it with me in my hand. I could take it with me on the couch. I could plan in it while I'm sitting and watching TV with my husband or watching a movie. If something that's funny or something that we watched before, you know, we just want to watch a feel good movie, I can definitely plan in it. If it's something that I've never watched, now I'm not planning. I'm watching the movie with my husband. But you get the point. So let's discuss. I know I started with these two. This was a planner that I was like, oh, I'm going to make this pretty. I'm going to sit down, and my time to myself is going to be when I decorate my planner. Lo and behold, I quickly found out that I need to be more on top of my parents because they're up. I need to provide their meals. I need to cook their meals. I need to give them baths. I also need to give them their medication. I also need to check their BP, their sugar, which I have another little book for that. So sometimes if I don't write it here, it's already in the other book, and that never gets shown. So in response to that, I was like, oh, I'm just going to do a simplified version of this planner. But this was still too big. It was still taking up so much space. So what ended up happening was I ended up getting this planner right here, and then I transferred everything over, and this has been working. And even doing bare bones planning, I am still doing what I need to do when it comes to writing down what task I need to accomplish, what appointments I need to go to, what meetings I have, things like that. And if it's not written in here, then I don't need to worry about it. Like I said, I am not going to write down, I did laundry today, folded laundry today, put away laundry today, brushed my teeth today. I'm not doing all that. I just need to track right now my sleep. I also need to track when I have an appointment, when I got to pick up my son to go to an appointment, or when do I have to take my parents to an appointment, when do I have an appointment, which is very rare, or when I have to do specifically something for my house. Other than that, it is going to be this way for the rest of the year. So this is basically what I have left to fill in. And the thing was, I was like, oh, I should just get a blank new planner to rewrite everything that's in, to archive it. And I'm like looking at this planner, I'm like, why am I going to do that? Everything that I needed to write is actually in here. It's pretty legible, except for the past couple of weeks. I really have not liked how I have been writing because I need to read this. So if it's getting hard for me to read, that tells me I need to go back and stop rushing. And my parents may have to wait maybe an extra like 5 minutes for me to make sure this is neat, at least for the week. But what I did today was I woke up early and I sat down for half an hour and I laid out my week. And it doesn't look like this is half an hour, but this took me a half an hour. And I wrote down the appointment I needed to go to. I made sure I put in the tracker I wanted, and that's what I did. If you are at the end of the year and you're just tired and you're just like, where am I going to track my sleep? I wanted to track my sleep. I wanted to track my mood. I didn't get to the goals I wanted to get to. I'm not doing this. Don't be so hard on yourself, because if you're like me, realistically speaking, there is a lot going on, and we have so much going on in our lives right now. And there's so many different things that are occurring that I think sometimes we get overwhelmed by. We need to have all these things done in order to feel accomplished. We need to have the perfect planner in order to feel like we've actually planned. Oh, we need to have everything filled in order for this to be an actual working planner. No, your planner works for you. Write down your appointments, write down what you need to write down. Don't worry about what it looks like, because at the end of the day, when you go back and review things, right? If I need to go back and discuss with my doctor when was my last my mom's last physical, then I could go back and check and be like, oh, it was on this date. It has the basic information I need, and that's basically what you want. You just want to make sure you have the most important information or notes written down and that you keep them. So these two I'm obviously going to keep, because in the back of these planners, I have notes in here that I need to transfer over to my new planner. And I'm going to take some time during some weekend, and I'm going to transfer those two notes here and put them in the new one, okay? And this one, I'm not sure if I want to keep it just because of the cover, but I already have an A5 cover that's in Aristocrat, so I don't necessarily need this. But what I always do is, after I transfer the important information that's important for me to kind of always review with anything major medical that involves my parents or my kids, then I take these apart and I shred them and I make sure they're shredded. So that's what I do. And then I just keep one main archive planner for a year to go back and look at what dates happen. Now, very, 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 very important dates will always be archived in the back of my planner. So they do increase in terms of how long these note pages are, but I could still always go back and review. They're not going to take up more than, 10 pages, I would say, because even with the notes from 2021, 2022, and this year, it's only taken up 3 pages in my Hobonichi Weeks. So can you imagine it in the A5? It's probably like a page. Like I said, it's only the most important information. Like they always ask you, when was the last surgery? Did you have surgery in the past 5 years? When was the last physical? When was the last time you took blood work? Things like that are always going to get asked. So you always need to have them in the planner that you use on the go. So that way they're a reference. Or medications are always listed in the back as well for my parents. And that way I know when I go see the doctor, these are the medications they're taking. This is a dose. Da 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 da, whatever. Last BP was this, last sugar level was this, things like that. So very, very simple way. If you are looking to end your 2023 and you feel a little overwhelmed, you feel like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? The planner confusion begins. Should I start a new planner? Should I rewrite in a brand new one and make it look pretty for the year so that way it looks like a beautiful archive? Or should I just, put my notes away, or should I just keep all my books? Really, it's up to you what you want to do, but I'm just here to tell you whatever way that you decide to archive your planner or use your planner at the end of the year is your choice. But I always go for keeping what's most important, making sure you have the most important dates, notes, and things like that. And then use a planner that you can archive at least for a year or two so you can always reference back. That is my go-to tip. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and until the next time, bye.